Good day, everybody, and welcome back to another What's Blank Wednesday, and it's what's going on in snowboards for the winter 24 and 25.
Yep.
Joined by JJ, who is our snowboard buyer, amongst other awesome things around here.
Thanks.
So, a lot of hard work went in last winter, looking at testing, picking out the selection of boards, what we have downstairs.
Right.
It's incredible. That department is amazing. I challenge anybody else to find a better snowboard shop in West Michigan right now. So, but we've got some really cool things to talk about in terms of tech and the types of boards that are out there. And the very first thing that we try to figure out is whether somebody is what we would call a directional rider or a freestyle rider, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk about the differences between those two riders?
Yep. So we'll break freestyle down into your terrain park rider, typically riding groomed terrain and park features. So they're hitting boxes, rails, kickers, jumps. They're thrashing their boards, they're thrashing their bodies, but their boards are built for that environment.
Okay.
Then the second style of riding is free riding. So skiing, we would call it all mountain. You can ski groomed resort runs. You can ride groomed resort. You can ride trees. You could ride big mountain. You're typically going 1 foot forward. You're not switching back and forth riding switch.
Yep, spinning around. But you can take a directional board in the park. Or
you could,
yep. Rules out there. That's a cool thing with snowboarding. There aren't really rules.
There's not rules. There's a lot of gray area when it comes to these designs and profiles.
Well, let's walk them through some of these boards because there are some specialized technology that help you be better at those disciplines. So,
yeah.
Let me walk over here. We're going to start with this really sweet board called the Springbreak from Capita. This is one of our core freestyle boards, right?
Yep.
A park board.
Yep. Resort park board. It's a little bit extra durable. That's what a lot of freestyle boards, they throw out, extruded bases in, sintered bases, a little bit, higher grade edges, just so it can take a little bit more of a beating. Typically with, if you want the most power, the most pop, you get a freestyle board that has a lot of camber to it. So you see how this board lays flat across the table here? It cups like an upside down.
I think of camber as a bridge, right?
Yep.
So it's like going over the bridge.
Exactly. So you got a lot of spring here. It's a type of style board that, like I said, you get a lot of pop, a lot of power, energy storage in the board, really launches you up kind of like a spring. Also, that profile helps to lock onto rails and boxes a little bit. You don't slip off as easily. But that profile, the downside to a camber profile is you have to stay on edge. It does not like to be ridden flat. It wants to catch the tip and tail contact points up here. So if you're riding flat-footed, if you're tired or lazy or just starting out riding, it can kind of throw your confidence a little bit because it wants to catch an edge.
So let's talk about a board that's maybe a little more appropriate for somebody who's developing skills.
Yeah.
Makes it a little bit more user-friendly, but still pretty performance. And this is a board from Arbor, which we really like this brand, called the Draft.
Yep, Arbor Draft. So freestyle board, that's rocker profile. We bring in rocker profile boards from Arbor because they have a couple different features that make it not just easy and friendly, but good on hard packed and ice as well. So when you put a rocker board down, it makes contact point here in the center and then gradually lifts up the tip and tail.
So in this case, it's a banana.
It's a banana.
So it went from a bridge to a banana.
It rotates really easily. It turns incredibly easy. When you lift up the tip and tail, you lift the contact points up under your feet as well. So you're not getting that edge catch like you would be with a camber profile board. Arbor doesn't bend their boards up, drastically like Banana Tech from other brands. And then they add in these grip tech points to help give you more contact points along the edge of your board on hard packs and ice, because rocker boards are notoriously slippy when you take it out on hard pack and ice. They kind of want to slip around.
Yeah, so some of them are built for powder, and when you try to ride those on a resort situation, they don't do much at all other than make you slide around.
Right, so very forgiving, easy to learn on, just a fun, playful board.
All right, now we're going to take it up a notch to this, what I think is just the weirdest board we have on the wall. It's an eye catcher because it's different. It's also an eye catcher because it is probably one of the most overbuilt boards that I've ever had in my hand. So this is from Never Summer. It's the VTwin.
VTwin, so Never Summer. It's the only brand of snowboards we carry that's domestically built here in Colorado, or the US. So Never Summer utilizes a hybrid profile. So it's not directly camber, it's not directly rocker, it's a blend of both. I'll put this on the table here. They call it a triple camber profile of this model. There's a short little camber pocket right here, and then it rockers out right inside the bindings here, then cambers again, and then rockers tip and tail. So with that multi-profile shape, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the pop and the edge control of a camber profile, but you get the playfulness and the easeability and the confidence that you get with a rocker profile. This board, you know, it has that funky shape to kind of stand out from the wall. You know, we sell hundreds of snowboards, so it's, you know, being able to see.
It's not a do
not
something
technical
technology.
feature.
It just
Nope.
looks different.
Just looks cool, looks different. It is they call it a free ride freestyle board. So it really is the one board to do it all. It does it all really well. Handles trees, handles high speed, groomers, and then you can ride it in the park as well.
This is for a better rider. It's
Better. It's a good rider.
Stiffer,
Yep.
stronger board.
A little bit stiffer.
If you're very confident
playful.
doing the things you're doing, you'll absolutely love this board.
It's a fun board.
Yep. All right. We're going to back it off and we're going to a more entry-level board. This is from Burton. It's in the women's category, the Hideway, but it's got some different technology that helps people evolve, right?
Exactly. So it's progressive friendly. So if you're just starting out, I'd recommend this style board for you. It's a flat profile. It is making contact within this table all the way to about here. So very stable underfoot. Helps you gain that confidence. You're not catching an edge on your toe and heel as much, but typically if you're riding a flat board, if you keep progressing, you're going to out-progress this board. You can ride it for as long as you want, but if you're looking for a little bit more edge control, a little bit more pop, a little bit more power, you're going to want to,
I think of that board as the person who's a pretty good rider, somewhat athletic, but doesn't get to get out a lot. So when they get on it, they relearn really quickly, and then they've got a board that helps them have an awesome day, right?
It's very forgiving. Yep. It's an awesome board for that.
A little other technology talk there is doesn't have any holes in it.
Nope. So Burton uses the channel system for their binding integration. Channel system, if you pair it well with a Burton binding, you're going to get maximum board feel. You're going to get really good flex points with your bindings and your boots. It just integrates really well.
Package too, right? I mean,
exactly.
The weight of the package.
Yep. And you don't have to buy Burton bindings to fit this channel. If you have an old channel board, you need new bindings. Every single one of our bindings that we sell can accommodate this profile.
Yeah, sweet. Let's go back to the big mountain. I am a directional rider. I like soft snow. The Revenant is new from Rosal this year. I love this graphic. So when we talk about boards, we often talk about graphics and edgier graphics and old guy graphics. I don't know if this is definitely old guy, but it looks more like some of their skis, and I kind of attracted to that.
Yeah.
But that board's got some different stuff in it too.
The Revenant, Leonardo DiCaprio's board.
Hide in for the bear.
Yeah, so it is an aggressive profile board. It does have a aggressive, stiff camber profile, has tons of bounce to it, tons of pop, stores power like crazy. It is the stiffest board on our wall. It takes a lot of energy. I would not put a lightweight person on this. I wouldn't put a weak person on this. This is somebody who's got some power and some strength behind them. What you get out of a stiff board is stability at high speed. So this board loves steep, icy terrain. It can handle, boot high snow as well. It does float very well.
Punches right through those piles of cut up powder.
Oh yeah, it blasts through crud.
Powder day.
Yep. It's set back slightly, so it does have a little bit more tip length, so it does pop over that stuff really well. And then a lot of brands do some sort of edge technology. Rosal does their serrated edge or their rad cut. So what that means is when you're flexing into this board and you're on edge, it's making contact here at this contact point in front of the boots, in the middle of the board, all throughout the whole edge. So you get really, really good edge control on hard packed and ice. I love this board, especially here in Michigan.
Yeah, you're a good, big, aggressive rider.
It's a great board, not for beginners.
Yeah. And then we're going to bring this home with another board out of the women's category, but another very versatile board and a different camber profile.
Yeah, so we talked about the triple camber of the Never Summer V-Twin. This is the Never Summer Infinity. The men's version is called the Snow Trooper. It is also a hybrid profile. It's got rocker here between the feet. You can really see that rocker here. And then it cambers under both feet as well. So you get the best of both worlds. You get the pop and power under your feet for that camber profile. You get the forgiveness of a rocker profile in the middle. Super fun elevating board. One thing about Never Summer, I think you might pay for that domestic manufacturing, but you also get great durability out of these boards. They will last for a long time. I'm a big, heavy, aggressive rider. I have a Never Summer board that I've had for, this would be the 10th season, and I'm not light on my stuff, and it looks almost brand new like the day I bought it. It is so durable. They infuse rubber throughout the edge of the board here, so if you're bouncing off rails, bouncing off trees, you're not denting that board. It's not taking a beating, or it doesn't look like it is.
So I made a little joke about being an old guy, and you just talked about having a board for 10 years. I do feel there is some hesitancy for older snowboarders, especially, to keep riding their old board. So would you find that 10-year-old board, like what you're riding today, there's a lot of difference?
There's a lot of difference, yeah.
So as much as it's about the durability, don't sit on those old boards, because all this stuff we just talked about just is built for fun. Like when you go out there. So I started riding in my 40s, on camber boards. I had to go through the neck strains and the head bashes, and then rocker came out, and I just found myself absolutely loving this discipline, because it was loose and free, and I wasn't doing that anymore, but yet I was still able to ride aggressively, and so we have a learn to ski and snowboard program, and we had a couple guys a few years ago that were 80 years old, both of them, and they both learned to snowboard at that sport. So you're never too old, you're never too young to get into this sport. It's an awesome way to come down the hill. Come and check out this new technology. Our department is set up like we mentioned in the beginning. It looks amazing. There's so much to look at, so much to talk about. Our team is ready. The temperatures are dropping today. It was cold this morning. We all came in our puffy jackets. It's going to happen this year, we promise. So
it's coming.
Come check out our snowboards for 24-25, and we'll see you guys next week for another What's Blank Wednesday.